Hi everyone. I know you all have been asking, and I'm finally getting around to it. Doing a making of, showing kind of my process and how I do some of this. But I want to first start out by thanking everyone for all the love and support you've given me. I was honestly not expecting this. I was going to post these videos and just kind of check back in a month and see, 50 views. But like you guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the nice words you've given me, and you're motivating me to make more and try new things. And this is where it's starting right here. So I got this box just came in the other day. It is a 2-axis motion control that I can use. I can connect to the computer. It has pan and tilting, and then what's awesome is I was able to wire in my slider, my newer slider, and there's a third axis as an auxiliary port, and I was able to wire it in, and now I have 3-axis control, which has just been game changing. And then we have here the Enterprise E setup. And as you can see, this is the only one I'm able to mount onto a tripod, which is really nice because it allows me a little more control. The other two I can't. Enterprise up there, and yeah, it doesn't really do it, unfortunately. This one just happens to have, also because of this wire, it couldn't go through it because it was a solid piece of metal. So this has been great, and then you can see my green screen behind this dark blue blanket, which the blanket is for the beauty pass is what I like to call it. For the light, the external lighting pass kind of hides some of the spill. I could also take the green screen down, but it's always a hassle. So this I think is a little easier, and I can just kind of flip up the blue. And then you can see kind of the setup I use. This is a Panasonic Lumix S5, and with my favorite lens to use for this is the Nikon 17-35 2.8. Phenomenal lens, and what's great about it is it's from the late 90s, so it just has a very specific look that no other lens, well, besides of course the Nikon 28-70 as well, made about the same time, but no other lens really gives that look. So that's why I love. The unfortunate part is because it's adapted, it's manual only, manual focus. So for some shots, it's not possible. I need some kind of autofocus. So when that fails, the other phenomenal lens is this 20-60 for the Panasonic native lens. And this lens gets sharp. It is really sharp, especially. So what you have to do, kind of a way to keep everything in focus, is the key is to have the aperture closed, stop down as much as possible. The problem with that is for a lot of lenses, the more you stop it down, kind of this thing called diffraction kicks in and it softens it a little bit. So some lenses are better at handling that than others. This one I think works out pretty well. This one works really, really well. I love it. The problem for me is I think this one is almost too sharp, a little sterile at times. So actually sometimes I don't care for the look of it as well, as much as the Nikon lenses. So it's a little trade-off, and sometimes I have to use either or depending on what my situation is. A lot of times if I'm like away from the ship flying toward it, I need some kind of autofocus, something to help pull it. But like in this case where I'm kind of just, I'll demonstrate in a minute, but where I'm kind of just sliding across, where I'm kind of, I'm kind of like this. The change in distance isn't that great, so I can use this lens, which is great. Now, for the fun part, so this hooks up USB directly to the computer, as well as we got a HDMI capture card, which is really just for monitoring. So you can see what's coming up. We got this software called Dragon Frame, which actually allows me to tie in and control, because I have keyframes and everything for it, and allows me to control the motion control from here. So I'll demonstrate that. As you can see, it's viewing what's on the HDMI. But let me move this light so you got that. So now you can see the Enterprise E a little better on the screen. So what I do is we're set. I hit play, and then we have full 3 axes moving. As you can see. It's also quite messy in here. A lot of gear, a lot of random stuff. So we'll go back. So this has been incredible. And I've only had this for the last couple of days. I've really been playing around with it a lot, it's game changing because it allows me to do a lot of things I couldn't do before. Now my limiting factor, I think, is the length of this track. With the ability to curve now, I need something longer. So I may eventually. It looks like these tubes I can detach them. Maybe I'll go to like Lowe's or something and find some replacements and just extend it that way if it's possible. As you can see, the lights I use, it's just a desk lamp. This is one of those sun lamps, for like early in the morning to kind of simulate the sun and be good for your eyes. And then what's above on this camera is an LED light that changes colors. Let's see, you can see it can change colors. Let's see, I feel like there, that sort of thing. And then I can show you my ability, what I can do when I just to kind of let me show just how cool the ability, what you can do with this motion controller. So I can change the pan on the computer. I think my favorite part are just the noises that it makes. Sounds like an old 8-bit video game. Let's see, so we got the panning, and then we got the tilting. Oh, went too far. So really cool stuff. And then the slider. What's great about the slider is, so the original one, well, it's the same slider, but so the original wiring, there was a little box that right here, I took it off with the programming. So this over this entire track, it would take 30 seconds. That was the fastest it would go. This thing was really geared for time lapse, not really for motion videography. But with this box hooked up and the power and everything, none of it's battery operated. It's all plugged into the wall. It allows the ability to make the slider go a lot faster. I'll show you. Instead of 30 seconds, it can get there now in like 5 seconds, which is great for especially the Enterprise E because it has those flashing lights. I can't do slow motion with it and then speed it up later, just because those lights kind of they flash too fast. It looks weird. It's the only issue I have with this. So I've been limited with the old setup where it had to go, 30 seconds, like that was it. Now, which is great because the ship is meant to move fast, I can speed it up and then I can slow it down in post and actually help those lights flash a little more. Because I think they do flash too fast just as it is, since they're really free Enterprise A. So that's kind of nice that I had that ability now. Another thing I wanted to mention was, so this slider, originally, see this bar here in the middle, this is what allowed it to rotate. So normally what you would do is you would kind of turn these and you kind of lock them left or right, And as it did that, as it would slide down, it would rotate the base. The problem with that was that there was a lot of play in that. So when I would do my passes, even though I'd have this thing locked straight, no rotation, every time I did a pass, it always it wouldn't line up a lot of times. I'd always have issues. So what I did was, you can't see it, but I just duct taped it down real strong, and I unscrewed out the wheels that are on the base of this, that kind of, so it has no attachment to this now, and it's all just duct taped super strongly down. But now with this box, it doesn't even matter because I have now motion controlled panning. This thing has been amazing, and I found it on eBay. I happened to look just this week, and someone was selling it for like $200. And I'm pretty sure this is like $1,000 piece of equipment. And they just posted, I think, a couple days ago, and like I just happened to look and I happened to find it. This was just perfect. I did not think this would be possible. But that's kind of how my setup's been. It's been very basic, a lot of makeshift. I don't have a lot of money to spend on this, so I've just been making do with what I got. This is something I've been I don't know, since I was in middle school, I guess. I was kind of always toying with green screening these ships and stuff. I used to have a bunch of old toys. I might still have it somewhere, but old Enterprise toys that were, very, not, they looked bad, they didn't look like movie ships. They look like toys. And so I always just play around with those. I did a lot of green screening back then, and I didn't have any of this. Everything had to be done in one take, shaky hands, all that stuff. So this has just been phenomenal that I can affordably do this at home. I mean, seriously, I have 3-axis control, all from the computer. I finally have ships of my own. But for me, I finally have them, and I'm so happy that I can do this, and I can do this how I've always wanted to. And again, thank you to everyone that's been tuning in and showing me love and nice words. I'm just going to keep having fun with this and keep experimenting and seeing what I can do. If you guys have any requests or anything, just let me know. Like, maybe I can try, now that I have the ability to do a little more things, maybe some ideas for types of movements you guys are looking for. Maybe, I'm open. What I really need is, like a studio, or like a story, something, just so I have a little more reason to make these videos as opposed to just trying random things. Keep it a little more organized. I'm listening. I'm hearing you guys. Thank you. Until next time.